Listen up. 40% of people making over $500,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Read that again. $500,000 a year and still broke by the 15th. You think that's a budgeting problem? No, that's a system problem. Because here's what they don't tell you. Extraction scales with your income. Bigger house payment. Better zip code with higher property taxes. Car note that matches your status. Lifestyle creep isn't a personal failure, it's systemic design. The consumption pipeline runs on a thermostat. The more you make, the more it takes. But here's the math they really don't want you to see. $1,000 a month from a side hustle invested at 8% for 20 years becomes $592,000. Not from your boss, not from a promotion you had to beg for, from income you control. That's not extra cash for bills. That's a retirement fund built quietly while the system wasn't watching. Let's talk about how to hack this. Some of you are thinking, just negotiate better, ask for what you're worth. Cool, let me give you the numbers. Black women earn 67 cents for every dollar a white man makes. Latinas earn 57 cents. That's not a 5% gap you close with confidence and a salary coach. That's a 33 to 43% penalty baked into the system. You cannot negotiate your way out of a 40% deficit when unconscious bias is running the show. You can't lean in hard enough to override a system that decides your value before you open your mouth. So what do? You diversify your income. You stop putting all your earning power in the hands of people who statistically undervalue you. And here's the breakthrough. Technology doesn't see your face. Upwork doesn't care about your zip code. Etsy doesn't hear your accent. Fiverr doesn't know where you went to school. You show up with a skill, you deliver value, you get paid. No code switching, no culture fit theater, no wondering if your hair cost you the opportunity. Digital platforms are the closest thing we have to meritocracy on demand, and we're about to weaponize that. Let's talk about the freedom math. Not hustle culture nonsense, real compound math. Scenario 1. You earn an extra $1,000 a month from freelancing, consulting, or a digital product. You invest it at an average 8% annual return. In 20 years, that becomes $592,000, not the $240,000 you put in. The extra $352,000 came from compound interest working while you slept. Scenario 2. You earn that same $1,000, but it goes to bills, subscriptions, and impulse spending. In 20 years, you have zero wealth and the same bills waiting next month. Same effort, wildly different outcomes. And you don't need to start at $1,000. $300 a month becomes $177,000. $500 becomes $296,000. The math scales, but only if you start. This isn't greed. This is choosing compound interest as your ally instead of letting it work against you through credit card debt. Let's talk about the $1,000 cushion and why it's a weapon. If you don't have $1,000 saved, you're in what I call the struggle tier of banking. That looks like this. Overdraft fees because your paycheck hits a day late. Payday loans at 400% APR because your car broke down. Check cashing fees because you can't meet minimum balances. The system extracts from people without a cushion. It's a poverty tax, and it's brutal. But side hustle income builds that buffer faster than waiting for a raise. $300 a month for 4 months gives you a $1,200 emergency fund. That's the difference between a car repair being annoying versus financially catastrophic. Once the cushion exists, that same side income becomes your investment engine. No more extraction, just accumulation. You're not just making extra money, you're armoring yourself against a system designed to punish people for being broke. The 20% rule, income diversification as freedom. Here's the rule.
Aim for 20% of your income to come from a source that is not your primary employer. Not because you're greedy, because you're strategic. First, job lock is real. Your employer knows you need health insurance. They know your 401k is invested. They know you've got a mortgage. When they underpay or overwork you, they're betting you can't leave. But when 20% of your income comes from somewhere else, you have leverage, you have options. Second, layoffs don't care about loyalty. Companies fire thousands in an email and post record profits the same quarter. Side income is your parachute. Third, wealth that runs while you sleep. The goal isn't working 2 jobs forever. The goal is building income streams that compound. Digital products, investments funded by side income, skills that earn without trading hours for dollars. That's generational wealth. The real talk. This isn't easy. You'll be tired, you'll sacrifice comfort, but the system is already extracting from you. It's already scaling its take. It's already penalizing you with wage gaps, fees, and job lock. You can keep playing by those rules, or you can hack the system with diversified income, compound interest, and bias-blind platforms. Math, not motivation. $1,000 a month becomes $592,000 in 20 years. That's not a side hustle. That's a freedom fund. Now go build it.